Well, here we go again. Once again, living up to my name on YouTube. Too many projects, too little time. I bought a old Chrysler straight 8. Yes, that is a straight 8. Very rare nowadays to see, but back in the day, not that rare. You see some straight 6s now and all. I have a weird relationship with inline engines. Was never a huge fan of V-configured engines. Not that they're bad or anything. I mean, I've had plenty of V8s, even V6s, and they weren't bad engines. But there's just something about an inline engine that drives me wild. I remember in high school auto shop class, we had several engines on stands to work on, and we could run them on the stands. Everybody liked the V8s and would, like, when it came time to do something on them and you'd get your little groups of people together, everybody would flock to the V8s. There was an old slant 6 there, and that was my favorite engine. I love that thing. It looked so good. I don't know what it was about it. I just absolutely loved the way that thing looked. But anyway, so like I said, in my never-ending attempt to bury myself in more projects than I could ever handle, I give you the Chrysler straight 8. There we go. 8 plug wires. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So back in the day, cars had very long, skinny noses. Well, they stopped doing that, I don't know, probably around the 50s, which is when they stopped making these. This one, I specifically wanted a flathead, and there's a reason why. I also love the way flatheads look in general. They just look freaking bulletproof. I mean, look at that thing. That thing, you could pick that thing up and throw it around in the dirt and stuff, and you're not going to dent in anything. You might break the spark plugs or bend some stuff, but this thing, I mean, this is all cast iron. There's no stamped valve covers, anything like that. And obviously, overhead valve engines have a massive advantage. And I'm not arguing from a performance standpoint, but I just love the way these things look. I really do, and the simplicity behind them. I mean, it's like a small old Briggs & Stratton, you know, single-cylinder lawnmower engine, but in a larger form. So we're going to get into this. I don't know much about it. I do know the previous owner said it came out of an old dragline crane, you know, those big lattice boom cranes. And he said it was running when it was pulled. This is years ago. The owner of the dragline pulled it out because the exhaust manifold cracked apart on this. And unfortunately, with a flathead engine, you can't take the head off to have a manifold made. You need to bring the whole engine because the intake and exhaust manifolds are bolted to the block, not the head. Because the head, as you can see here, there's no valves or anything in it. There's nothing in it. This is a solid piece. There's no parts in here except coolant jackets, which are cast into it. So in order to have a manifold made, you would have to bring the block somewhere. Apparently this is a very common problem with these Chryslers. And actually you could see here, it actually says Chrysler Industrial Engine. Now, one thing about this engine is I don't know what size this is. I actually have no idea what the displacement is. You know, I know the ranges they came in, but I don't know. I got numbers. There's numbers all over it, and they're all intact, but unfortunately, I have nothing that tells me what size engine this is. So I have no idea of the horsepower or the size. I know I saw them from like 88 horsepower to 140. But like I said, I don't know what model. The serial tag has an area for model. And as you can see, there is nothing there. There's literally nothing there. Type, model, serial, nothing. Down here now, replacement engine model. It does have that, but this doesn't yield anything. When I've searched it online, I haven't found anything. So there's some other numbers on here. There's the head number, which I tried searching. I got nothing. There's a big number cast into the block down here. Once again, nothing. There's also another number, and I was told this should actually be the engine number right here. And one thing that definitely shows that it is most likely the engine number is it starts with IND-12, which is industrial. So, but these numbers, no, I tried searching all this, nothing. I joined a group for inline 8 engines. I posted 3 times about this asking for help, and it said it posted, and for some reason it wasn't there. So it says I've posted 0 things in the group. So I don't know what's going on with that. No idea. So if anybody could help me identify this, that would be wonderful. Because I don't know what it is. I don't know what the horsepower is. I don't know. It does turn over. That's good. One thing that's interesting about these two is I don't see an oil filter anywhere on this. And the ones I have seen that look identical to this with an oil filter, the oil filter, this plate is gone, and there's a housing with a metal canister and a filter. Not that, that's the coil and it's loose. But yeah, it's bolted to here, and the filter just kind of sits, you know, coming up here like on an old tractor. This one, I don't see that. So I don't know. Maybe it doesn't have a filter. Maybe there's a screen. I did read that these had full flow oil filters. Apparently there's no bypass. But like I said, there is no filter on this whatsoever. And that plate does not look like it's been off in God knows how long. But anyway, back to why it's why it was pulled. So the guy wanted to build or have an exhaust manifold built for it. Pulled it out of the lattice boom drag line. Then apparently it was running good from what I was told. I mean, the guy really had no reason to lie to me. So, because I mean, I got the thing dirt cheap. You know, he could have told me it's locked up for the price I got it for. But anyway, so he took it out of the crane. Was gonna have a manifold made. Well, the guy ended up dying, and then the guy I bought it from, or his brother, I don't remember. He told me the whole thing, but I don't really remember. But I remember the points to the story. His brother or him, whoever, bought it, the engine, because they wanted to buy the crane from the guy's wife. So they bought it, and then the wife said she didn't want to sell the crane because she thought it was worth a lot more. So she was going to have it auctioned at their estate auction. Well, what ended up happening was she ended up selling the crane before the estate auction took place to somebody else. And then the guy I got it from had the engine. Somebody else got the crane. The guy I got the engine from didn't know that because he thought it was going to go up for the estate auction, and then everything just, you know, disappeared, and he doesn't know where the crane went. You know, for all he knows, somebody scrapped it, and he was stuck with the engine for years and put it for sale. And I came along because I got a stupid idea in my head, as I usually do, and I said, you know what? I really want a flathead straight 8. There's plenty of overhead valve ones out there I found, but I wanted a flathead one. I will show you too. The one thing that bothers me about this, and it shouldn't, but my brain works on like symmetrical things, and like it needs to be aesthetically pleasing and symmetrical. I hate the way the spark plugs are on this. How you have the you know, two near, you know, close to each other. I wish these were evenly spaced like on some of the other ones, but they're not. It's the design of the engine. Can't do anything about it. But for some reason, it just drives me insane. So. All right, well, enough talking. Let's get into it, and let's see what we're dealing with. So being that this engine is from a generation of engines that didn't always have filters, like I'm pretty sure this one doesn't, but that along with non-detergent oils, I'm guessing this is going to be pretty nasty in here. Also, it came out of an industrial application, so my guess is that this thing's gonna have some serious, absolute just tar sludge in here. So let's find out. So your valve cover is on the side of the engine, not on top of the engine. Okay. Let's see what we got. Blech. Yeah, it's gross. We got non-hydraulic lifters. That's why you have your adjustments here. Ooh, wow. Look at that. Oh God, it smells too. I could smell it. All right. Let's see what we got going on this side now. Probably the exact same thing, would be my guess. These are stamped, so we don't want to be too crazy with them. No. Alright, let me get a screwdriver or something to pop that one off with. Oh yeah. Yep. Old cork gasket. It's falling apart. This is another reason I really need to know what a model and all this is, because I got to order stuff for it. You know, I mean, I can make gaskets and stuff, but yeah, I'd rather just order them if I can. Look at this. Look at all that. Literally, like I said, it's like tar. Very common with an old engine, especially with non-detergent oils, like I said. Come on. Wow, they really stuffed that rag in there. Jeez. It's, I believe it's for the fuel pump right there. That's what it looks like. And the cam is behind it, so let's see. Should have an arm that goes up to the cam. Yep, there's a lobe on there to run it. All right. Well, I don't know. What should we do? Should we pull the head off? Take a look. The cylinders, I guess it wouldn't be a bad idea. The only problem with that is I'm gonna need cylinder head gasket then, which probably should be replaced anyway. It's like it doesn't want to stay on this gun. Alright, so one thing when you remove spark plugs, keep them where they go, because the way a spark plug looks can tell you a lot about the engine's running conditions and the health of each cylinder. It's not a foolproof method to tell you everything, but basically what you want to look for is you want them to look consistent, and so far they actually look pretty good, pretty consistent. Yeah, they actually look a lot better than I thought they would for something like this. I can see a lot of crap in there though. Blech. Oh yeah. Not like I mean carbon type stuff, not like metal or broken or anything like that.
That'll straight roar tonight. Rusted steel mirrors in the air, bringing life back with the rebels' flare. Quake shaft turning harder by.
All right. Let's see. Now, these heads are heavy, but they're not as heavy as an overhead valve, just because it's just a chunk of metal with cavities in it. I mean, it's hollowed out for the coolant jacket, but other than that, it is still cast iron, however. But other than that, you don't have a valve train and all in there because it's a flathead, so it's not as heavy as they normally are. Then again, it's also an 8-cylinder, so it's also bigger than they normally are in general. It's gonna have to come straight up because of these studs here. Let's see if I can do this. Come on, baby. Ow. Should I get something on there? I'm glad I left this on because that at least gives me something to pull up on. But there's nothing on the end except this. All right, it will go. It just hurts a lot. Very strange. Okay. Oh. I gotta pry that side with something. Oh, it almost looks. Is this a copper gasket? Oh yeah. Huh. That's cool. I thought it was the high temp copper gasket sealant at first, which would lead me to believe that, okay, yes, this has been definitely replaced in the not so distant past, but no, it actually just appears to be a fully copper gasket from what I see. Oh, all right, there she is. Nice. That looks so cool. Wow. Wow, look at that. What is that? Is it carbon? It's really cool too, because if you're familiar with small engines, if you take just one cylinder and look at it, it looks very similar to like a lawnmower engine, a flathead. There's one of the broken studs. Same thing with this. This is very, very cool. I love stuff like this. All right, so there's all 8 cylinders. Doesn't look too bad. There's some stuff in here. Looks like a lot of just rust and other stuff. Maybe it fell in from these bolts. I don't know. There's some stuff here. A little bit of carbon. But it's just sitting on top of the pistons. We have a spider. Right. Where is that? Right here. Some critters made their homes in here. Very cool though. Pure copper head gasket. It's pretty cool. Then we have our cylinder head, one cast piece. Typical flathead style. Very cool.
Time rolls back under blistering heat. Each bolt echoes stories of the past. In this garbage, legends long will last. Pistols pounding, engine scream. Oily breaths ignite the dream. Gears and cards in perfect tune. Vintage power rise with the moon.
So the pistons are marked STD standard, which is interesting because most likely they're the factory pistons. I don't think this has ever been rebuilt or anything. I mean, it's possible that they did do it just with a new ring kit or something, but I doubt it. But anything's possible. Get a rag to just wipe that off with.
Drop bells singing steel symphony. Man and metal locked in harmony. Spark plugs, fire and cylinders dance. Revving up for one more chance. Sweat and grime on my weathered face. In this battle time leaves no trace. Chrome reflects the passion lit inside. In this classic ride we take a pride. Pistons pounding, engine scream. Oily breaths ignite the dream. Gears and cars.
Alright, so I cleaned her up a little bit, not completely, but I'm going to wrap this up for today. Throw this very cool solid copper head gasket back on. And we're going to just lay the head on there. I might put like 2 bolts in it to hold it because that's the safest place for it, for the mating surfaces. Let's see, so it goes that way. slightly put those on. Get a bag to put the head bolts in and everything else. And I think we'll be good for today. Probably should put those back on, but we'll leave them because I'm coming over here either later or tomorrow. All right. Get all that cleaned up and we'll get out of here.